So everyone loves the fancy of building a SaaS in public. You tweet your progress, you post some dashboard screenshots. Everyone says how good it looks. They join the waiting list, they sign up. You start going viral. Your tiny SaaS then turns into a mega SaaS. And before you know it, you're sipping pina coladas in the Seychelles somewhere. And I'm not going to lie, that's a damn good fantasy. And most we all want to have. But here's the real version. You start posting on X. You post screenshots daily. You might get 1 or 2 likes at best and about 10 impressions. Then finally you come to launch your product. You then start refreshing the analytics dashboard every hour and realize that no one's using it and no one's subscribed. You then start to question your identity, your life choices. Have I made a massive mistake? Is this the right thing? Am I wasting my time? So today I'm sharing the real side of building in public, the emotional, messy, and slightly painful truth that nobody prepares you for. And I'm still getting over my cold, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit clogged up. Did I say cold? Sorry, I meant man flu. So you might want to stick around because this one's going to be a banger. Before we get started though, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. So let's crack on. Part 1, myth versus reality. Myth. Just build in public and people will just come. Doesn't work like that. The reality, people don't come. Well, at least not at first anyway. Most people don't even know you exist. It's like starting a band in your garage. You're not going to get a stadium gig on day one. You're more likely just to get your mum and dad clapping out of pity, even though you're absolute shit, but they don't want to hurt your feelings. And that's okay, because building in public is not about instant success. It's about building trust, building relationships, proving that you're doing that work, proving that you're actually making what you say you are. And is it easy? No. It's like anything in life. You've got to put in the work. If you want a decent reward at the end of it, you're going to have to put in the work to achieve that reward. But it's really enjoyable. You know, it's great telling people what you're doing, giving them updates and stuff, because you're going to get valuable feedback. You can get people who are genuinely interested in it. And I'm not saying that the myth can't become your reality. It absolutely can. You can be in a few years' time or 12 months' time, who knows, but sipping on pina coladas in the Seychelles or Maldives, wherever you want to be. But it's not as simple as you believe at first. You're going to have to put some work in. Okay, so part 2, the role models. So we look at giants and think, well, if I just do what he does or she does, then I'll win as well. So you've got massive players like Mark Liu and Timo who make amazing video content, posting on X all the time, showing what they're up to. Huge experience, huge companies. Really leading the charge. Then you've got a lot of up and coming talent with Rob Hallam, Alex Nagayan, and Jack Fricks, who are showing up daily and coming out with some decent products, drawing a lot of attention. And you're all seeing their success, but you're forgetting that you're probably not watching a lot of these guys' early days. You're forgetting that they posted when nobody cared. Their views were absolutely tiny at first. They didn't land big results. Well, at least not at first anyway. They stack tiny ones. Okay, so part 3, emotional roller coaster. Okay, so let's talk feelings, because building a SaaS in public definitely has some. You're likely to experience confidence, fear, excitement, and panic. And you'll oscillate between, I'm a genius, and such a fucking loser. You'll find yourself reading every single comment and judging it like it's some sort of performance review. And that can, suddenly take your mood from either being ecstatic to down in the dumps. And this is all perfectly normal when it's your first time doing this. And don't forget, people like Mark Liu and Timo and that, they all had this initially as well. It's all part of starting something new and growing in confidence. So even though it is an emotional roller coaster, just remember that, like I say, the big guns have all been through this as well. So it's all perfectly normal. It's all part of the process. Part 4, the work nobody sees. So when people think build a SaaS or build an app, they imagine writing code, shipping features, and celebrating. And nobody sees the actual boring, mundane stuff that happens on a daily basis, like debugging code and setting up your billing systems and answering support questions every single day. Most people think that you just launch a product and then it just becomes a passive income. You don't have to worry about it after that. And that couldn't be further from the truth. As soon as you launch that product, you've launched a whole new load of responsibilities. And like I've said before, building a SaaS or an app, it's fantastic and it's amazing work, but it's not easy. And it's not this sort of build something and just let it do its thing and bring in monthly income, you have to constantly update it. You've got to keep an eye on it. You've got to answer questions. You've got to debug. It's not as simple as, you know, set it and forget it. And that's how it should be. You don't want to just be someone who just builds something and then just goes and sits and watches TV all day. You want to be kept on your toes. You want to have competition. You want to have things go wrong. So it just pushes you, so you're bettering yourself constantly. Okay, so part 5. Why build in public anyway? So after all of the chaos and negativity and truth that I've just told you, why would you do it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because building in public works. Not fast, not automatically, but powerfully. You build accountability, proof of work, trust, a tribe of people rooting for you, and a story worth following to the very end. And when it clicks, it really clicks. Your audience become your feedback loop. Your customers trust you from day one, and you create social proof just by existing. And this is what a lot of the big names and the up and coming names are starting to see now. All of that hard work does pay off in the end. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up now. The sun's shining outside. It's beautiful out there, so I'm going to go outside. But look, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you got some value from it. So I really want you to remember that if you've just started building in public, started your journey, that all of the big names have gone through exactly the same thing. Okay, I know you're probably wondering to yourself, no one's looking at my posts, no one's watching my content. And that's perfectly normal. You just got to keep going. That's the only bit of advice I can give you. I'm not huge yet, but I'm consistently showing up, trying to show up daily, but I've been ill the last few days, so it's been a bit difficult. But you just got to keep going. And I have a huge amount of respect for a lot of these guys in their 20s doing this. This is the right thing for them to do. I wish I had done this in my 20s instead of going out partying and wasting all those years just getting pissed. And if you want to check out another video, please check out the video above. It's a video about how I built my SaaS essentially for around $100. It's worth a watch. Good, some good viewing there. Hopefully you'll learn something from that video as well. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I shall see you all very soon.